Thank you very much for the introduction, Jason. And hi, everyone. Thank you for coming to my presentation. My name is Thao, and I'm the Becker Fellow in Neurology. This past summer, I had an internship at the Center for Sleep Medicine at Mayo Clinic in Rochester, Minnesota. And this is what my summer was all about, just went sailing in the lakes and everything. No, just kidding. So this was actually what a typical day at work was like. I spent a lot of time analyzing data at the computer and shadowed different physicians and got to spend some time in the OR, which was very cool. So a little bit about my lab. So my lab is the Center for Sleep Medicine, or the Sleep Lab, and it is here we do a lot of research on sleep-related problems, and I worked directly with my principal investigator, Dr. Eric St. Louis, and the sleep lab is located on the 17th floor of this beautiful building. This is a very nice and modern building at Mayo Clinic. So in the sleep lab, I worked on 2 different projects. So the first project is the main lab project. It's still going on now, and pretty much everyone was involved in this project. So in this project, we study the association between REM sleep behavior disorder and neurodegenerative diseases such as Parkinson's. And the second project I worked on was my own independent project, which is a project I study about the association between the sudden unexpected death in epilepsy and probable sleep apnea, which I will go into details later. Okay, so first of all, let's take a look at a typical analysis in the main lab project. So what you're looking at right now is a hypnogram or polysomnography, which we use to analyze or record muscle activity of REM sleep behavior disorder patients. So when you're asleep, there are different stages of sleep that you go through, and in the REM sleep, you're not supposed to move your body. However, the REM sleep behavior disorder patients, they have a lot of muscle activity in the chin, the leg, in the chin, the leg, and arm channels. So these waves are the ones that showed muscle activity that we record here in these 3 main channels. So this is called muscle activity scoring. After the scoring, we gather that data and analyze the association between REM sleep behavior disorder and neurodegenerative diseases. From previous research, we found that a lot of REM sleep behavior disorder patients develop neurodegenerative diseases later on in life. So with our data, we want to see how strong that association is. But this is still an ongoing project, and we still got a lot more scoring to do first. Okay. So moving on to my next project. My second project is an independent project that I worked on. This is a retrospective study where I worked with a lot of data that had already been collected before in the system. And the topic of my my study looked at sudden unexpected death in epilepsy, or SUDEP, which is estimated to cause around 2,000 deaths in the United States per year. However, not a lot of people, even physicians, know about this condition. And so that's why I found this topic very important to study, because of the large public health impact and also the traumatic effect on the victim's family. So specifically, in my project, we looked at the simultaneous presence, or the comorbidity, of the 2 medical conditions, epilepsy and sleep apnea, and see how these 2 medical conditions together can cause higher risk of sudden death in our patients. And for those of you who are not familiar with epilepsy, that is a central nervous system disorder that can cause seizures and unusual behavior and sensations. So the main question of my independent project is there an association between probable sleep apnea and the 7 risk factors of SUDEP in the SUDEP-7 index? And my sample population was on 49 patients. So this is just a very quick snapshot at the 7 risk factors in the index that I used for reference in my data analysis. And so that was very complicated data analysis, but after analyzing my data, I came to the conclusion that epilepsy patients with probable obstructive sleep apnea have higher risks of sudden death than other patients. And however, this was a very preliminary study. We only had 49 patients to work on, so we'll need a larger cohort in the future. Okay, so what did I learn from this internship? I got a lot out of this fellowship. I learned to work on an independent project. I also learned how to write manuscripts. Hopefully that'll become a publishable paper soon in the future. I also got to shadow different physicians and just like their clinicals, or also in the OR. And also I got to attend a lot of lunch workshops where I learned about medicine and clinical trials. I also gained hands-on experience on scoring all of those muscle activity on polysomnography. I also learned how Mayo Clinic runs its healthcare system, which is a very cool system, and a lot of patients I talked to at Mayo Clinic really loved the service that they received. And this is just a quick, just like a picture of their Mayo Clinic main lounge, where they have the piano right here that a lot of people play all the time. It's really fun. And this is a picture of me and other summer research students in the sleep lab. And this gentleman right here is Dr. Eric St. Louis. Okay, so overall, this internship was a very great and rewarding experience for me. It really confirmed my ambition to pursue an MD PhD program in the future. I know that I really want to do research, and I know that neurology is a potential specialty that I want to pursue. Also, this internship also provided me a great research experience over other applicants when I apply in the future. Here at Mayo Clinic, I got to talk with different graduate students and other undergraduate students who I still keep in touch now about possible research opportunities in the future. So it was absolutely a great experience for me. So again, I came to realize how much I love Rochester, Minnesota, so I put a picture of my boat ride in the Lake City right there. So finally, I want to thank my supervisor, Dr. Eric St. Louis, and the sleep lab research team at Mayo Clinic. I also want to thank my donor, Ms. Beth Becker, my faculty sponsor, Professor Jeff Carden, my academic advisor, Professor Cindy Strong, the Career Engagement Center staff, and Laura Farman, the writing studio. Thank you.